Hello and welcome to Perspective, the action-packed youth debate show. Today we have another quarter-final episode for you. So we have two very strong teams who have already won one round coming against each other to fight for their place in the Perspective semi-finals. So I have our two groups here today, and we also have our panel of judges. And before I head into introducing the groups, I'd like to come to the three main people first, and that is the judges. So here we have the judges panel. In the middle we have Swiber. She's 20 years old, studied philosophy, sociology and drama at A-level, and she's pursuing a career in acting. Swiber, can you tell us today what you expect from a winning team?
It's a very interesting topic that we've got today, so I'm looking forward to hearing your arguments. If there are any statistics, evidence that you've got, don't be afraid to share them, because those really will provide a great backing for your arguments. So have fun.
Thank you very much, Swiber. So guys, have fun. The next judge, he's the closest to me. We have Mr. David Thompson. He's enjoyed a variety of careers, including the British Army, the Sultan of Oman's Air Force, physiotherapy and family support in Sure Start Children's Centres. He's now looking forward to retirement. He has travelled extensively through work and for pleasure. He enjoys reading, surfing the net and watching current affairs and wildlife programmes on TV. Okay, so David, what are you looking for today in the winning team?
Well, again, I think this is going to be a very interesting topic, so I'm really looking forward to hearing you make your points with conviction, talking about your personal, more about how you feel about it personally.
Thank you very much, David. And the final judge we have on the far side, we have Mahmoud. He studied politics and economics at the London School of Economics, as well as a master's in international development. He's interested in Middle Eastern geopolitics and Islamic history, and he currently works as a health consultant. Okay, so Mahmoud, what do you expect today from the winning team?
Just make sure if you can, deliberate with your teammates as much as possible for putting your points across. And yeah, like Swiber said, just have fun and make sure you get something out of it.
Okay, so guys, the one thing you need to remember is to have fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask the teams to introduce themselves. So we have EYC Group 2 who are against, and we have Flexible Ideology who are debating for today's topic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask each of you to take the mic. I'm gonna ask you to say your name and give us one interesting fact about you. So once you do that, I want you to pass it on to the next person. So I'm gonna start with EYC Group 2. Perhaps the person on the far end, could you tell us your name and one interesting fact about you?
My name is Rahel and I like sports.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Luam and I like dancing.
Hi, my name is Sini and I'm Eritrean.
Okay, so thank you very much, EYC Group 2. Now coming over to Flexible Ideology, can I ask you to do the same?
My name is Sharon and I'd like to visit Cuba.
That's great.
My name is Anaya and my favourite place I visited is New York.
My name's Rafa and I love the whole Harry Potter book series and film series.
So yet again on Perspective we have a Harry Potter fan. Okay, so that's the teams for us. We have EYC Group 2 and we have Flexible Ideology. So today's topic is a curriculum for life. The current structure in which things are taught in schools currently are, you have the standard subjects of maths, English, science, geography, history and so on, and you have maybe a PSHE lesson maybe once a week, or maybe in some schools a lot more. The whole idea of a curriculum for life is starting to teach things more orientated around life skills in school, so things like budget management, family planning and etc. So today the teams are going to be debating on whether more of this, and substantially more of this, should be introduced into the curriculum for students. So we have EYC Group 2 who are going against this idea of introducing more of a curriculum for life, and we have Flexible Ideology who today are going to be arguing for it. So what we're going to do straight away, we're going to head into the first part of today's show, and that is the speech round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each contestant to give you a short 1 to 2 minute speech, and I want you guys to just outline your main points, the ones that you're going to be debating upon today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Flexible Ideology, if you guys can start first. Can I ask your first team member to give their speech and then pass it on?
In a constantly changing world, having life skills is an essential part of being able to meet challenges of everyday life. But how can we learn these life skills if we don't have enough lessons to actually learn about them? Now, when I say curriculum for life, you guys think I'm talking about mainly things like cooking to feed ourselves, paying tax and mortgages, which are important. But I'm also talking about other things like communicating or dealing with stress and frustration. Sure, good grades are important, but so are other life skills. In 2011, the Confederation of British Industry researched that employers are also looking for key skills like time and people management. So today we are fighting for curriculum for life.
Okay, so it looks like, Jerin, you seem to have lost your voice, but well done. Now, Inaya?
All students need to be given a life skills education, as it helps you prepare for the 21st century workplace. Curriculum of life teaches you how to communicate effectively, confidence building, making good decisions, solve problems, and more essential skills everyone needs in order to succeed in life. And these are the very few skills I have mentioned, as there is a non-limit to establishing skills. Many would assume that young people are learning these skills from their parents, as this is who they spend the most time with and interact with constantly. However, depending on the child's circumstance, this is not mostly the case. Many children are unprivileged, deprived, and some have uneducated parents. Everyone's household is different, and so is their livelihood, so it's wrong to assume that. We, Flexible Ideology, strongly believe, as will most of you after you hear our points today, that curriculum for life is very important and schools should incorporate and focus specifically on classes that teach these skills.
Thank you very much, Inaya. And finally, Rafa.
We are Flexible Ideology and we are arguing for curriculum for life. Would you really use quadratic equations in real life? Would we really explain and analyse books we read for enjoyment? No, and that is why we should learn life skills in school. Things like mortgages, finances, taxes are all things we need to learn about, otherwise we could end up homeless and it could affect our lives. Some of us already have PSHE and food tech lessons if we are lucky, but it isn't enough. Some will say you can learn about this from your parents, but some aren't as fortunate or as close with their parents, and this is why we need to develop the lessons of PSHE and curriculum for life in schools now.
Okay, so thank you very much, Flexible Ideology. We saw some very powerful speeches coming from them. So now I'm going to pass it over to EYC Group 2. Can I ask you guys to do the same? So maybe one of you guys just pick up the mic, give us your short 1 to 2 minute speech and pass it on to the next person.
Okay, so we EYC disagree with this statement, as subjects such as maths, English and science are compulsory in your GCSEs and are the first steps in your career. These subjects occur in your everyday life.
Thank you very much.
The reason I disagree with the motion is because many would never study these extracurricular. Because many.
That's fine.
Can I start again?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
The reason I disagree with this motion is because many would never study these extracurricular subjects after they have picked their options in year 9 or 10. Once you have picked your options, maths, English and science will be the main focus of your later life.
Okay, thank you very much. And finally?
I disagree with the statement because English, maths, science and science give way more opportunities than cooking and housekeeping and so on. For example, when you choose in English, you can become a lawyer, and for maths, you can become a mathematician. Also, for science, you can become a scientist. So they're like one of the most important subjects you should be focusing on.
Okay, so thank you very much, EYC Group 2, for your strong points also. So now we've heard all 6 contestants and both teams give their speeches and their points. So we're starting to get a general idea about the topic here and the sort of points that we expect to come into play in the second round. Before we head off into the break, I'm just going to come back to the judges and ask you guys just to give us a brief, how you're feeling so far, and if you have any comments on what you've seen from both teams so far. And as always, I'm going to come to Mahmood first.
So yeah, again, there's very strong arguments for both teams. I've got my own kind of bias and thoughts on this topic, so it would be very interesting to see if one of the teams can convince me. It's not going to be biased in terms of the judgment, but I'm looking forward to seeing my own kind of opinion being challenged.
Thank you very much, Mahmood. Swaiba?
It's been really interesting to hear what you all think, and I'm excited to hear more. I think the second round's going to be very good. It'd be fun to see a bit of back and forth, so we'll see what that's like.
And finally, David.
Yes, I totally agree. I think this is going to be a very interesting debate, exchange of ideas, and I'm sitting back here hoping to be thoroughly convinced by one or two of the groups.
Okay, thank you very much, David. So that brings us to the end of this first phase of the program. After the break, we'll be heading into phase 2, where both teams will actually be debating against each other. So that is the main part of the actual debate. So I'm excited, the judges are excited, and I'm pretty sure that you're excited. So make sure you don't leave us during this break.